the Buck model 863 Selkirk. Fixed blade, full tang knife. That doesn't get much love. And in less than a minute, I'll tell you why. What's up everyone? PA Outdoors here. This is, as I said, the Buck Model 863 Selkirk. Made by Buck Knives. It is a, as said, fixed blade, full tang knife. Let me give you some of the specs on it first. It is typically, as most Bucks are, it is 420 HC stainless steel. It has bolt-on micarta handles, bolted on in 3 places with Allen screws. Full tang knife with a hammer pommel, so you can use it to hammer in, tent pegs or, break rock, whatever you need to do. It is manufactured by Buck. It comes with a kind of an ABS plastic sheath. It does have a bit complicated, but it does have an ambidextrous loop, so you can unbolt this and bolt it on this side to make it right or left, or sideways for scout carry. It does come with this ferro rod, which works rather well, and a whistle on the end of the ferro rod. It just slides in here, twist it to lock it in place, and then just for added protection, just loop this cord around. That's it. The sheath has very good retention. Locks in very nice. Some more specs on the blade itself. It is, the blade length is 4 5/8 inches long. The weight of the knife is 7.6 ounces or 216 grams. It is a drop point design. Some thumb jimping on the back right there to give you a little more control of the knife. So, I mean, look at it. In my humble opinion, it is a beautiful looking knife. It's got great lines. It's got just a great feel in the hand. No hot spots. This is a pretty smooth micarta. I'm guessing that it was cut down with a machine. It's got some pretty cool little, I don't know if I want to call them scallops, but cuts in the top and the bottom. Just, again, gives you some more nice feel. And I think you can buy the knife in most stores for around 60 bucks. So for 60 bucks, you're getting stainless steel blade, full tang, micarta scales, a decent, talk about this in a second, a decent ambidextrous sheath with a ferro rod and a whistle all included. So why doesn't this thing fly off the shelves? Why don't you find many great reviews on it? It is, well, try and get on there. There we go. I don't know how that picks up. It's made for Buck in China. So this is one of the few Chinese-produced Buck knives. And if you go right to Buck's website and start reading some of the reviews, there's going to be a lot of reviews saying, nope, make it in the USA, I'm not buying it, don't want it, it's Chinese junk. Make it in the USA and I'd be happy to buy it, I'd even be willing to pay more for it. I get that, but most of those reviews you'll see where the people say, I will never buy it, which means they've never bought it, they've never owned the knife, they've never handled the knife, they've never used the knife. most reviews on the Buck website, Amazon site, of the people who have bought the knife, own the knife, and have used the knife, they all love it. It gets, at least 4 and a lot of 5-star reviews. It comes razor sharp. The 420 stainless steel is going to hold an edge very well. And being 420, it sharpens fairly well. I know a lot of people don't like the 420. I don't know if Buck themselves are heat treating these, if they're using the typical Buck heat treat, which is just awesome. But so far, after all the use I've done with this knife, I've had no issues with it at all. And I've had this knife now almost a year, and I'm finally just getting around to talking about it on film. It is a full flat grind with a secondary bevel. And I've batoned with this, I've made feather sticks with it, I've made fires with it. It's not an overly heavy knife, so it's not like a big chopping knife. It's not what it's designed to do, so I wouldn't expect it to be able to do that. The sheath, now I've had no issues with it, but I've seen on some of the reviews of people who have owned the knife, the sheath has been kind of their complaint. They thought it's felt kind of cheap. There's been some reviews where it's actually cracked. I don't know if that's just from normal use or if it's been in extreme cold weather where the plastic tends to get more brittle. Other complaints about the sheath is that it really is difficult to swap this thing from one side to the other. You've got these 3 screws that come in from different directions that you have to take off. You've got these 3 screws which have to come off, and they also hold the ferro rod on. But you can't get to the back side of this one. You've got to take this off first. So you actually have to disassemble the entire mounting system to get it to swap around. It's just not as easy as taking out 3 screws and flipping it over. It just doesn't work that well. I tried. So I think this knife came out in 2015, I believe. There are some reviews on YouTube for it. Not a whole lot, but they've all been fairly positive. Other than the complaint that's made in China. Got some footage here of me using the knife in the field. Some backyard stuff, some feather sticks, other stuff. That footage was taken very early on when I first got the knife. I just was excited to get it, so I ran out in the backyard and did some batoning and just a little bit of carving. But since then, I've really had a good chance to take this out in the woods on camping trips and use the heck out of it. And it hasn't failed to perform in anything I've asked the knife to do, and anything that typical camp tasks that you would expect a knife of this size to do. I'm not one of these guys. I'm not going to go out and try and rip open 55-gallon drums with a knife. I'm not going to bang it against concrete, hit it with other knives. I don't abuse a knife. You don't need to abuse a knife to test it. You need to take it out and make sure it's able to do the normal woods and camping tasks that you would expect the knife to do. This isn't a fighting knife. This isn't a pry bar. It's a knife. It's an outdoors knife. It's a camping knife. It's a utility knife. And for all of those tasks, it excels. It does a great job. So, you know, for $60, if you don't mind that it's made in China, I would recommend going out and getting one of these knives. It's just been a great knife for me. I've had this knife do the same tasks that I've done with my Gerber Strong Arm, my Condor knives, K-bars. You know, this has done everything my Becker BK2 has done. Obviously the blade's not as long, it's not as thick, so maybe as far as some of the batoning and chopping, it doesn't quite stack up, but you know, it's kind of apples and oranges. But there you have it. That is a quick review of the Buck 863 Selkirk. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was informative. And I appreciate you guys watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe to my channel. And get outdoors, enjoy yourself, but remember, be safe out there. Thanks for watching.